Hey guys, what's up? I'm about to show you how to change your oil on your Fox shock here, and I have a Fox 32, as you can see here, one of the older versions, but it still works. A Fox 32 from a 2011 Trek Remedy, so that's my specific setup here, but this can be accommodated for any bike. So first step you want to do, I got this funky unicycle here from my bike here, but first thing you want to do is get the top of your headset off here with your little Allen key, and then there's a few pieces depending on your setup. There might be some spacers like this. That's a carbon fiber one, that's an aluminum one, and then this is just the top of the headset right here. You might have as many spacers to accommodate for your handlebar height, but that was my setup. And then on the bottom of the headset here, I have two more aluminum spacers and also a special little piece for the bottom of the headset here. So that was my setup. And also you're gonna have a locking ring right here that goes below this actually, on the bottom. And I'll show you how this is set up on my bike, but there's that. And the next thing you want to do after you get the headset off of here is probably we're gonna clean this ring right here. So it's got a lot of dirt and grime. Hold up. Oh goodness, it's got a lot of dirt and grime here, as you can see, built up over the years. So we're just gonna clean that with a little rag in a little bit. And next thing is disconnecting your brake line. Mine was fairly simple. Right here I have disc brakes. You're probably gonna have disc brakes. I doubt you still have calipers if you have a nice mountain bike fork, but there is going to be most likely an adapter with these. You have two Allen keys right here. It's gonna bolt on right there. This is the end of it, and your brakes are gonna sit in between here, your brake pistons. And don't forget to, there's a small Allen key, small Allen bolt right here you have to take off from the fork right here. So you see it. So you want to be careful with this situation because there's three loose pieces going on here. You got your handlebars here, you got your brake caliper right here, and then you got to finagle your entire frame of your bike right here with the headset, and just to get that fork out of there. And so what I was talking about was, here's the top piece of the headset where that bolt goes in, and then you're gonna have some spaces. Well, you're gonna have spaces on both sides, but you're gonna have some spacers down here, and then you're gonna have the rest of your fork like that going down. And so these handlebars you want to be careful with, because the brake lines right there, they're, unless you have internal brakes or those expensive wireless brakes, with the nice Shimano XTR, I think is the electronics, or the DIT is electronic. So I'm just gonna get this little bearing right here and just wipe around it just to get that dirt off right there. And got it in the bike stand here. You wanna not drop it or anything. And then just wipe down these stanchions, preparing for the oil change here. So next thing you want to do is get this wheel off, because we're going to isolate the fork. So you want to just unclip this little tab. I already did it here, and you can see on this side the through axle right there. Watch this. I'll twist this out of here. See it going back there? And then so you gotta twist for days on this guy. See it coming out there? It can't pull, it's actually threaded. It can now, but there's actually a thread on the end. See there? That's your through axle. And it goes all the way through. And then we're gonna keep good care of this. Put it in a good safe location here. Come back and it should be loose right here. I'm going to raise the stand here. And it should come off. Next thing we want to do is remove the fork of air. And you probably want to have safety glasses when you do this, but I'm just going to get a screwdriver and tap it. See that? Oof. There's a bunch of oil that drains out of there. And you can see on the screwdriver what color it is. And I'd say that's green. Okay, so I just want to note, we loosened the air chamber on this side. Here's the rebound if you have it on this side. So you want to take note of that because I just loosened, there's two little lock nuts here, both 10mm, I just loosened them up. You want to make sure because they're two different sizes, okay? So you want to note which side they are. And this one also has a crush washer. You want to be very careful with that. I'm not getting a new one, but if you want to, go for it. But we're gonna slide these lowers off now. So you want to be very careful and make sure you note which one is which. Film the part where the oil drained, but it was green, and I just removed this part from the stanchions. And here's the rebound, as you can see, the rebound cartridge. And right there's the air cartridge right there. There's all that oil. Looks pretty clean to me, actually. Okay, so just a little update. Here's the color of this old green oil. It is a lot worse than I thought. See that? It's like more like a gray black color, and I have rode this at least 100 miles, 100 hours, which you want to change it every 100 to 200 hours. So it's the oil change is due. And then I wiped down the stanchions. I took out these foam seals, and you just want to use an open-ended wrench here if you can, and then grab that. But what I ended up using was this little lever, and I just pulled it out and then grabbed it with my hands. And here are the old foam rings. They come with a little metal, some little metal ring, and these are supposed to be white, so I will be cleaning these, because these are what keeps the stanchions clean. And then what I did was I sprayed some brake cleaner right down in here, and then I used a PVC pipe right here with just a little rag on it, and I put the rag on there. I'll show you like this, you know, and then I just put it down in the stanchion, or in the fork, and that cleaned it out. So once you do that, I'll tell you how to fill it up. Okay, so I got the lower legs back on here, and I ended up just using some of that new oil right there and put it in a bottle cap. And those foam seals I showed you at the top, I just dipped them in there and covered them good, and then I just put them back in their spot, and put the lowers back on. So that's good. Everything worked out, and now I'm about to put some oil back in here. So this is a handy little tip that I didn't know. Here's my model number of the fork, okay? It's on the bottom right here, for my model at least. This is a 2011. But I also noticed something else once I was under here. I was trying to find out what if it was a fit cartridge fork or an open bath. And I actually found out it was an open bath because under here I saw this label. I don't know if you can see it well, but it says right there, it's upside down, open bath Talus RL. So therefore I can finally find out the volumes of oil I need to put in. Okay, so from finding that code on the open bath Fox fork, I found out the specs verified by 2 different websites that I'm supposed to have 165 milliliters on the damper side and then 10 milliliters on the spring side. And I'll show you what that means. So the damper side is going to be right here. It's going to be your rebound knob. And the spring side is going to be right here because it has your air suspension where I took out that air. And that's going to act like a spring. Or if you have a different fork, it could have a coil spring, but mine just happens to have air in it. So we're going to put 165 milliliters in here and then 10 in here. And a cubic centimeter is the same as a milliliter. So don't be confused by that on the websites. And I'm just going to be using this Fox 20 weight gold. Both the 2 different websites have 2 different oils, the 10 weight red and the 10 weight green. So what I gathered from that is it really doesn't matter what oil you use as long as it's the Fox. What this 20 weight oil is going to do is it's going to offer better protection. And anyway, bike techs really just use this oil. It just varies based on the bike tech. So this is what I'm gonna run because I'm basically a bike tech myself anyway. And I did verify from changing out this old stuff. This is the old 10 weight green. Someone put it in for me that I bought this bike from. And you know, this is how much I gathered. And there were some that had drained in this pan, some that I wiped off with these rags, and just some from, you know, normal use wearing out. The oil goes on the stanchions right here, and you know, it just rubs off. That's what it's supposed to do. The oil is supposed to coat this, so you don't want any scratches in here or anything. And just it helps lubricate and makes your fork perform better. So I'm not really worrying about the specs. I think that 165 milliliter is correct, because you know, this is 10 right here, and imagine 16 of these. I believe it. I'm gonna put 16 of these in here. So let's get to going. So okay, I'm gonna put 10 milliliters in this spring side right here. Just place it in. Squeeze. Whoa, that went fast. There's the 10. And now I'm not gonna show the 16, but I'm gonna put 16 of these suckers right in there. And don't forget to reassemble exactly the same process. Don't forget that crush washer right there. And also, on a side note, I figured this out today. Your through axle goes through here, right? Okay, so I was wondering, what the heck are these numbers for? And what is this little lever here for? So this is actually the axle nut. And what this is going to do, I'm not going to take it apart right now, but you can put an Allen key right here, take it off, twist this around. So if you don't like the positioning of your through axle handle right here, if you want it to be tighter or looser, you know, if you can't twist the handle all the way and shut it, you can take this axle nut off and turn it, and it'll help you get that through axle back on. So just as a side note, if you can't put that through axle back on, check with this. So anyway, I tried to do as best as I could on this video, guys, and spending the greater part of my day on this here. This is my first time doing this, So I hope you guys, could use this, and I really worked hard on this video, so just let me know if you have any other questions or anything, and peace out. Check this out, guys. I just put the new oil in, sealed the caps there basically, and watch, look at that compression. You can hear it. I'm just gonna let you know, this was way better than it used to be, so this is a great thing to do.